Good morning, dear listener. This is Priya with your AI news for today. Let's pour a fresh cup and let the headlines settle like steam on the rim. The AI chorus is getting louder, but the tune is changing. Google's Gemma 4 slipped off the cloud and onto our laptops and phones, humming plans and code right where we type. No longer do we have to send a note through a corporate hallway. The data stays in the room, invisible to the security guards who used to watch every door. Feels a bit like finding a secret garden behind a rusted gate, beautiful but you're not sure who's tending it. Across the Atlantic, S&P Global's Capital IQ Pro is taking a slower waltz. Its AI pulls numbers from filings, then pauses, waiting for a human nod before sealing any deal. The rhythm reminds us that many still need a conductor's hand, even as the machines learn the steps. IBM is singing a different song. It says AI has become infrastructure, not a novelty, and warns that closed-source models are like locked pianos, hard to tune, harder to trust. Open-source foundations, it argues, let many ears hear the off notes before the concert ends. Their own Claude mythos, a model that can sniff out vulnerabilities, stays behind a curtain, handed only to a select ensemble of defenders. It's a cautious duet between power and responsibility. Apple, ever the polite host, taught its assistants to ask before they act. They can draft a reservation, draft a purchase, but they won't swipe the card until you say, yes. A gentle pause, a reminder that even the slickest AI should wait for a handshake. Meta's Muse Spark arrives wrapped in glossy launch hype. It scores high on health benchmarks, yet it retreats from the open-source stage it once championed. Soon it will whisper through Facebook, Instagram, even Ray-Ban glasses, but the code stays behind corporate doors. It's like hearing a beautiful aria performed in a private salon. You're impressed, but you can't study the sheet music. The European Union is tightening its sheet music too. The AI Act will demand clear logs, identifiable agents, and a human right to hit the emergency stop. Regulators want to hear every note an AI plays, not just the final chorus. A recent OutSystems survey paints a bustling rehearsal room. Developers love their AI assistants. They say the tools boost productivity more than they cut costs. Yet many still wrestle with legacy systems that refuse to dance to the new beat. Trust is growing, but the orchestra lacks a central conductor. Most firms still manage each AI project in isolation, fearing a chaotic crescendo. Microsoft dropped an open-source toolkit to keep AI agents in line at runtime. Think of it as a backstage guard, checking every cue before the agent steps onto the stage. As models become more autonomous, we need tighter spotlights on what they're doing. All of that is the Edge AI story, freedom humming in our pockets, but the score hidden from the security team. Open source promises transparency, yet big players sometimes retreat behind private walls. Regulators are learning to read the sheet music, demanding every bar be documented. And developers, the unsung musicians, are still learning to play in harmony with legacy instruments. Now the world outside the data center is also humming. A college earth science professor says ChatGPT has turned his online lectures into a silent hallway, students slipping away without a face to read. The lantern of technology has dimmed for him, a demoralizing problem that feels personal. Gasoline prices climbed again, a stubborn reminder that even the nation with the world's biggest oil reserves can't outrun a war in the Middle East. Drivers feel the extra pennies at the pump, and the administration waves a flag of energy dominance, insisting the market will right itself. The reality is a sigh on the highway. In the arena of AI betting, the dream of machines mastering soccer odds fizzled. Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, and even xAI's Grok tried to predict the Premier League only to lose money. The study, Kelly Bench, shows that while AIs can write code with ease, they still stumble over the messy rhythm of a live sport. Space gave us a fresh splash of triumph. 4 astronauts returned from a 700,000-mile lunar loop, their capsule kissing the Pacific after a fiery re-entry. Artemis 2 marks humanity's first deep space flight in over half a century. Engineers already spotted a tiny helium leak in Orion's valves. No danger now, but a redesign will be needed before the next moon dance. On the legal front, a California lawsuit accuses a health system AI transcription tool of secretly recording doctor visits and sending the words off-site. The plaintiffs argue they never consented to their private conversations becoming data clouds. Convenience can sometimes wear a mask of invisibility. Geology offered a quiet twist. A fossil once hailed as the oldest octopus turned out to be a squashed nautiloid, reshaping our picture of ancient seas. The iron-rich mud of the Mason Creek beds preserved it, but the shape fooled us for decades. Sometimes the past hides in plain sight, waiting for a sharper lens. Formula One's hybrid engines are humming a bit louder than intended. The new 1.6-liter turbo V6 paired with a battery that empties in 11 seconds has teams scrambling to fine-tune power delivery. The season's pause caused by Middle East conflicts gives engineers a rare breather to tame the electric surge. YouTube nudged its premium price up again, $0.99 for individuals, $0.99 for families, while blaming longer ad breaks on a bug. The polite nudge tells us the platform's revenue model is still learning its own tempo. Microsoft reshaped its Windows Insider program, promising clearer beta channels and more predictable builds. It's a promise to listen to let the community's rhythm guide the next update. Even the humble oobleck cornstarch and water still surprises. High-speed footage shows drops flattening like liquid, then snapping solid under impact. A reminder that the simplest mixtures can hide a complex beat. A quirky cultural flash. A group of Iranian activists used AI-generated Lego cartoons to mock President Trump amid the Iran conflict. The videos are absurd, yet they ripple through social feeds, showing how digital art can become a weapon of satire. Neuralink's dream of mind-to-machine still sounds off-key. Recent lab notes read more like a dirge, monkeys lost, human trials inching forward. Ambition without a solid rhythm can quickly become noise. Sam Altman's San Francisco home was under fire again. 2 suspects were nabbed after a shooting following a prior Molotov incident. The drama feels less like a plot twist and more like a warning. Those who shape AI's future are now sitting in the crosshairs of a world still learning how to share the spotlight. Rockstar Games disclosed a breach through a third-party cloud service. The company assures players the impact is nil, but the breach spotlights a growing ethical dilemma. How much of our digital lives can we trust to invisible hands? And who decides when a ransom note is a legitimate request? Roblox is tightening its gates with an age verification step for games meant for kids 9 and up. It's a modest melody of responsibility, though the chorus of games versus experiences still echoes. The platform is quietly slipping back to calling them games, perhaps because experience never quite stuck in a parent's ear. Microsoft added a virtual mouse to its Xbox mode for handhelds. The left stick now drifts across screens like a conductor's baton, letting you navigate without a keyboard. A small, elegant riff that hints at a future where our devices blend the tactile with the digital in ever smoother sync. Huawei unveiled a foldable phone, Nintendo released a new Switch bundle, an experimental pop record dropped, and a food crisis sparked by a blocked strait reminded us that while we chase AI and consciousness, the planet still spins on ordinary beats. The AI arms race is now a digital battlefield. New AI tools let attackers move at lightning speed, and defenders scramble to match that tempo with their own AI shields. It's a race where every server, every line of code becomes a front line. In the private sector, Meta unveiled Muse Spark, a model that sings smoother than its predecessors but still lags on code. Anthropic whispered about Mythos, a cybersecurity reckoning they're testing with 40 partners, hoping to turn the tide against hackers who now wield AI as a rapid-fire weapon. A study of Gen Z shows growing sourness toward AI, hope turning into frustration, a cultural dissonance. Teens are turning to role-playing chatbots, sometimes for a laugh, sometimes to fill a lonely gap. The same platforms that spark creativity are also spilling memes that, as one writer put it, have already nuked our culture. The rhythm of the internet can be catchy and corrosive at the same time. Europe is drafting rules to make social feeds less addictive, hoping to protect children from the relentless scroll. A modest, hopeful chord in an otherwise booming symphony of data. Astronauts on Artemis 2 carried iPhones into space, only to find they can't connect to the internet up there. A poetic reminder that even our most advanced tools still need a tether to feel truly alive. Now the silicon giants. NVIDIA is the blacksmith of chips, hammering out a 3-nanometer Vera Rubin die that packs billions of transistors and delivers 10 times the punch per watt. Its CUDA ecosystem has locked in millions of developers, and it's buying tools beyond GPUs to keep real-time inference in its hands. Tesla is turning its fleet into a data ocean. Full self-driving has logged billions of miles. Optimus humanoid robots are already on factory floors, moving with a dexterity that would make a pianist jealous. The road isn't smooth, crash stats on the robotaxi service still lag human drivers and regulators are knocking, but the data advantage is massive. Elon's XAI grew into a $500 million beast. Its Grok 4.1 model sits just behind Google's Gemini on the leaderboard, learning from 500 million daily conversations. The fire hose of user data fuels rapid feedback, but the speed comes with privacy scrapes, deepfake scandals, and a revolving door of founders. The Pentagon just signed a hefty contract, a vote of confidence that also drags heavy responsibility for safety. SpaceX may soon host AI in orbit. Starlink already beams connectivity to 10 million souls, and a filing for 1 million orbital data centers could turn the sky into a floating supercomputer. A single satellite can now run an H100 chip training models in zero gravity. If the vision pans out, compute costs could plummet, and even the most remote village would feel the pulse of artificial minds. What does all this mean for us sipping coffee in the morning? The old guard, Google, Meta, Amazon, still pour hundreds of billions into AI, but they lean on NVIDIA's chips. The new quartet is stacking the whole ladder: silicon, models, bodies, and space. If any one of them nails their piece, the ripple will be felt in every industry, from tractors to the music you hear on a sunrise walk. NVIDIA feels like the sturdy foundation. It's already humming. Tesla's robots are the most daring dance, beautiful but still learning the steps. XAI is the wild child, brilliant yet reckless. Speed without safety can turn melody into static. SpaceX is the dreamer, painting the night sky with compute. The engineering challenges are huge, but the payoff could be cosmic. The AI orchestra is still tuning. Instruments are powerful, the sheet music unfinished, conductors learning to listen as much as they direct. Ethics, security, and human safety are the metronomes we can't afford to ignore. Keep your ears open, your curiosity alive, and maybe, just maybe, we'll all hum the same lullaby together. May your coffee stay warm and may the AI symphony play on, balanced between freedom and guardrails.